This week is Armed Forces Week, and yesterday, as I was mentioning, at GBNews we are passionate about supporting our veterans, and me personally, I'm also really not happy in many instances about how we're treating them. So we've decided every day this week we will look at an issue that is affecting veterans. I didn't just want to at the start of the week spend 10 seconds saying, oh, it's Armed Forces Day, look at everyone raising a flag and then moving on, because there are so many issues that affect veterans, and I know it's a matter as well that really affects and is of interest to many of my viewers. So yesterday, of course, we had Johnny Mercer on. He was talking about the government and the government response. He was saying that often he feels like the government doesn't care enough about veterans. So we decided again, as I said, to revisit this topic, and tonight I want to focus on homelessness when it comes to veterans. For me personally, I think it's an absolute national shame that we even have veterans on our streets homeless. It blows my brain. I tried super hard to get proper figures for how many veterans we have, and it's very, very difficult to actually put an accurate figure on it. We spoke to various different sources because, of course, not all of the veterans are known to the different services. So the latest assessment we could get was around 6,000 veterans. That's 6,000 men or women that have, in many instances, risked their own lives to keep us safe, and now they're living on the streets without a home. I don't know about you, but there's something about that. It really makes me feel uncomfortable, and I think it is entirely wrong because, as I said, these are people that often have risked their lives. So what I've got is I've got a couple of guests joining me now. We've got Paul Matson. He's from an organisation called Hull for Heroes, and I've also got oh, okay, I've only got one of my guests actually, which is a bit of a shame. But joining me now, Paul. Paul, so you're from Hull for Heroes. Now, this is a concept that I personally am very familiar with, but many of my viewers won't be. So just tell me a little bit, if you will, about your concept and what it is that you're trying to build.
Well, really, we're trying to build we are going to build a veterans village here in Hull and in East Riding. So basically it crosses the border of Hull and East Riding, so we had to go through planning permission of both councils. But it's a transitional veterans village where basically people will come out of the forces with their families, move into the village and learn how to become a civilian, really, so that they don't fall down later.
Yeah, and when we talk about homeless veterans, how wide an issue do you think this is?
It is a massive issue. It really is. It has been a massive issue for a long time. Homelessness is a massive issue, but people leaving the forces, I won't say all, because it's definitely not all. Some people leave and have a fantastic life and move forward, but some people fall down basically and struggle. So it's a difficult patch for them, and we're here to try and pick them up and move them on.
So your concept then, so you're creating a community where people can move into, that's right, isn't it? And yes. What about, so what about, go on.
So basically it's 48 houses over 22 acres of land. I know that's a massive piece of land for 48 houses, but it is spread far and wide. But there's training on there, there's horticulture on there, there's a lot of everything, and it's all about working together with the local community to help them move into civilian life basically over a period of time, and obviously find them work and give them training and move them forward in life, and God forbid if they ever do fall down in the future, they can always come back.
Yeah, and how important, I mean, you just touched on it there, like the sense of community. How important is it, do you think, for these veterans to feel that?
Yeah, it's massively important. Veterans need veterans, basically. We all talk to each other. When we first set up, I went to a thing called a breakfast club, the Armed Forces Breakfast Club, set up by a lad from Hull as well, called Derek Hardman. Walking into a breakfast club as a veteran and being surrounded by other veterans is a lovely feeling. It's just, you feel like you're home again. Do you know what I mean? When you've left the forces years gone by, all of a sudden you're around like-minded people where you can actually talk normally. But in our veterans village, that's our aim as well, is just to have that return to the tribe sort of feeling, just the way the veterans breakfast clubs do, and just have that feeling of camaraderie again, and surrounded by like-minded people, you can move forward.
Yeah, and I have to say, Paul, we're showing some images now of what your community, what your village will look like, and I think it looks wonderful. Who funds this? Where do you get the money from to do this?
Basically, we're obviously talking to government. We're talking to local council. Council has gifted us the land. Hull City Council have been nothing but fantastic all the way through, as have East Riding Council, gifting us the land, looking after us with planning permission, and pushing it forward as much as humanly possible. So we're talking to local businesses. We're in Hull, as you well know, Michelle. Hull people are absolutely wonderful. Just tell us we can't do something and we'll do it, basically. So it literally is like that. The people are full of backing us left, right in Chelsea, and they're helping us funding wise, local businesses, and grants, and just in lots of many different ways, basically.
Brilliant. Well, Paul Matson, thank you very much for your time.